I'm Kevin Devine, and I meet stars and celebrities right here on the streets of London and have great chats with them, like this. Now, it's a very, very busy day for this man today, Adam Boulton. It's budget day, and we've got you in front of one of the most iconic landmarks in the country. So what does that mean for somebody like yourself? What time did you get up today? And
my first stop was meant to be in Downing Street at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then going on to some briefings after that. But today, in addition to covering the budget, we got the additional problem of the major news, the gunman standoff in France. So at the moment, actually, a lot of what we have prepared to do here on the budget, we've not yet done, or we won't do until the budget starts, because there's other news coming in. That's one of the byproducts, if you like, of daily news. I
was going to say that because you're in an industry where it is changing second by second, and you have to just rock and roll with it, if you like. What's the most sort of iconic thing you can remember? Because speaking to news journalists around the world, the big stories are, the death of a queen or a queen mother or something like that. Have you been in the newsroom when this has been breaking?
I mean, we always say at Sky News that a breaking story is what we do anyway. So we get, we get several a day. But we certainly get occasions where a bit of news might come in that an MP has died or someone has resigned, and we will actually be expected to comment on that before we know why they've resigned or what the story is, and then what will be happening is we'll be talking to the viewers and being interviewed about it, and our colleagues through our earpieces will be feeding us extra information. So, example, when John Major resigned the leadership of the Tory party to fight an election, I was live for 45 minutes. All we knew at that stage for sure was that he called a news conference, and yet I was saying, well, we know his government's in trouble, and maybe he's going to resign, and people were saying into my ear, yeah, that's really going to happen. So, routinely every day I do a programme, it's the same for the other presenters, and obviously we have a game plan at the beginning of the hour, but hardly ever do we actually stick to that game plan for all 60 minutes.
Sure, doing that. And we've mentioned the Houses of Parliament there. You've got a great reputation as not taking any nonsense from the people who represent the public in there. Who's your most difficult challenge in there? Are there people that you think, oh, he's actually pretty clued up here, and you've got to really try and set them off balance a wee bit?
Well, yourself as an interviewer, the key thing is to get someone to engage with you.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that someone is so foxy or quick on their feet, if you like, in answering questions. It's those people who don't engage with your questions. On a bad day, if you asked Gordon Brown, have you got the time, he'd reply, the fundamentals of the economy are sound. And so actually getting them to listen to what you're saying and responding can be the toughest thing to do.
Sure. And finally, I know it's a really busy day for you today. Are there still people out there that you say, haven't interviewed them yet, but round the world, I would love to get the chance to?
Yeah, it's probably the same for yourself, actually, that there are people that you never get to, and there are also some people who, at the time you want to interview them. I've done President Obama. I would like to do Hillary Clinton, for example. It's normally a combination of the person and the moment, and sometimes you get them later, and the moment has passed.
Sure. And finally, we obviously know you're on Sky News all the time, but if people want to find out about you, do you have a website, or do you keep in touch through Twitter or Facebook?
I do Twitter. It's at Adam Boulton Sky, one word. And that goes up on the Facebook page, although I'm not very good at keeping that up to date. There's a Wikipedia entry which people vandalise about me, so if you want to say something rude about me, you could go there. We check it out every so often. And if you Google it, obviously their Sky websites and things like that.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I hope it goes smoothly for you, and I'll let you get back to today.
And the other thing is, all your worst mistakes always end up on YouTube. That's the other thing. You can
None today, I'm glad to say.
You can always watch them there. Pleasure to meet you.
And you. All the best for today. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers.